Hey everyone, welcome to the Crick Lounge. So, in this new channel, we're going to be bringing you some amazing content on everything going on in cricket. We're going to be looking at some cricket matches happening. We're going to be discussing the latest cricket news, and we're going to create like a community for everyone to share their thoughts and what they think about all the developments in cricket. My name is Samir, and I have my co-host Prashant with me. Prashant, for today's episode, let's just start by discussing what on earth went wrong today for Sri Lanka. I mean, that I don't know what to say, man. What the hell happened?
They seemed very nervous. First of all, they were out of sorts and they were not being responsible. They were like trying to play like, okay, right, I'm just going to go out there and just, uh, see what happens. But they didn't take that extra responsibility. What matters the most is that the first 10 overs, you have to see it out. You have to see what happens and see how the surface reacts and bat through. So after 10 overs, you can bat through, rotate, strike, but there was no responsibility at all. They were absolutely out of sorts.
Okay. I think there were a lot of instances where our guys threw the game away. I mean, we dropped Shubman Gill, we dropped Virat Kohli. You can't drop these kind of world class players. I mean, you need to take those half chances. They weren't easy catches, but you have to take those chances.
Yeah. When you're playing against a world class side like India, definitely you got to take those half chances. Those half chances matter. One thing we got to remember, catches win you matches, right? Your
Exactly. Yeah.
fielding has to be 100%, right? So that feeling effort matters a lot. But we were very clumsy in the field today, and we were not up to the mark. But I got to really appreciate Madhushankar's bowling. It was more like a game versus Dilshan Madhushankar versus India. I would feel it was like that.
No, honestly, and I think to add something to what you said there, Dilshan
Yeah.
Madhushanka bowled fantastically, and well, so did Jasprit Bumrah, so did Mohammad Shami and Mohammad Siraj.
Mm.
But I think what I saw from that pitch was okay. It wasn't the best pitch in the world, but it was not a pitch where you get out
Mhm.
for 50 for sure. It's not. It wasn't a slow wicket. It to me was a wicket where you'd get rewarded for the shots you played. You saw some of the shots that Mahesh Deekshana, Kasun Rajitha got a boundary of his first ball, I think. So those, if you put bat to ball as Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli showed, they are conventional players. And what the Indians did right was they executed the basics. They bowled in the right areas, they played the right shots, and our guys just made a right mess of it.
Exactly. We made a meal of it. I mean, we were just out of sorts. We just didn't spend time there. See, if you look Kohli's innings today, he spent a bit of time in the crease today, right? He played a good innings, which was 88 of 94 balls, and you see, he took his time there. He took his time, and then he played his shots, and he got 88 runs, which was a very good innings, and it was a pity that he missed out on his 49th century.
Yeah, true. When do you think he's gonna get it? Do you see him getting it in the World Cup? Or?
See, the first thing what matters for Virat Kohli is winning the World Cup for India, right? He would get it. He would score the 49th century, 50th century. He would, but their first aim is to win the World Cup as a team, and I would feel that's what it is in his mind right now.
No, very valid point. And
Yeah.
I know Virat Kohli appears to me as the guy who wants the team to succeed first, but I hope he doesn't hang
Mm.
around, too much to try to break personal records. That's the last thing I'd want to see for Virat Kohli.
Exactly. He's a team man, and definitely he will. Whenever the team needs him, he will put his hand up, and he will score runs for India. So definitely, I know that, and he won't hang around for personal records. I know that, and whenever he scores, he would always want to win a game for India. That's his mindset. Country first over personal records.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something our guys lack for sure. You have People turning out and trying to score hundreds, 50s, just for the sake of, having the spot in the team. Whereas, it's not about winning, it's more about personal glory.
Exactly. A good point, Samir. Which you have told. Like, let me tell you something. The main problem with our Sri Lankan team right now is that uh, they keep changing players. Okay. See, in the last World Cup, Avishka Fernando, he scored 200s. Yeah, he scored 200s. And in this World Cup, he's not playing. One thing which I have to tell you is that you can't produce world champion players in 1 or 2 years. You got to give them a long run to keep going, right? You got to keep them going, got to keep them playing consistently. In the 2003 World Cup, I still remember Mahala Jayawardena, 6 innings, 18 runs, but the selection committee never dropped him. And look, Mahala Jayawardena is a world-class player, so that's what the team needs to do. The team management needs to do.
I mean, and I think, like you said, that continuity is obviously important, but now, we can't cry over spilt milk. I think a lot of Sri Lankans need to accept that the last 5-6 years has been a write-off. Maybe we need to focus more on the future, but like how do you go about fixing the problem? Because we are in a freaking hole. This is the second time for the year that the team is out for in the 50s range. That's not acceptable. Like, how
Exactly.
do you go about fixing that problem?
Not at all. First of all, there should be a good team discussion, and the environment should be good among the team, right? And the management has to come and rectify these issues. First they got to do the basics right. Play proper cricket. Playing proper cricket matters, right? Basic cricket. If you're not getting the runs there, just stick around there for a while and rotate the strike. That's about it. Play the basic cricket, then you could get everything else right. Basics matter in cricket. That is the first thing which matters.
Do you think Chris Silverwood is the man for the job to take the Sri Lankan team forward? I mean, he's a world-renowned coach, but do you think he's the right fit for the team?
Samir, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, I think I lost
Yeah.
you there. But do you think Chris Silverwood is the right man to take the team forward in the situation?
Well, so far in the past performance, as I have seen, Chris Silverwood has uh, done good things with the Sri Lankan cricket team. They got through the Asia Cup final. So there's a little improvement, but the thing which we are lacking is we are not consistent. We play one game, okay, right, and we do well, and that's it. And after the next game, we perform very badly, and we are out of sorts. So I feel that they should stick with Chris Silverwood for a while, because now next year the T20 World Cup is coming. Changing coaches again is going to be tough. What needs to be done is having a discussion, trying to figure out things, and doing the basics right. Yeah.
No, I agree with you on that. And I think while we clearly lack the ability to play the basics, execute the basics properly, I think what you'll find around a lot of people is going to say is, we've been unlucky in the World Cup. There have been injuries. There have been players who've been unavailable. That's true. You can't deny that fact. But, at the same time, like you pointed out, some selection mistakes were made, like Avishka Fernando not being taken up. And, players getting injured, ultimately, these aren't accidents. Look at the track record of our players. They do get injured, I would say, more frequently than Indians or Australians, for example. So the fitness is a problem as well that the team need to look at more seriously. A lot of players are known to fail the
Exactly.
fitness test.
Very true, Samir. Good point over there. Like, let me tell you something. Fitness matters, right? And you got to stay fit, right? And also got to perform at the right moments. So we have been going through this injury problem for the last 1 or 2 years. Yeah,
Hmm.
injuries after injuries, injuries after injuries, and this needs to be sorted. Okay, and we got to find a solution for this. Like you said, that players are failing fitness tests. That is also a major concern. So what could be the right decision that Sri Lanka cricket is going to take from this point onwards? Now we are out of the World Cup. We got to now move on from this defeat, and we got to focus on the 2024 World Cup, which is 2024 ICC T20 World Cup, which is played in Caribbean and USA. So we got to move fast and try to act fast and make sure that we get all these players fit by the time. Okay, one big miss is Vanidu Hasaranga. So hopefully Vanidu Hasaranga will be all right soon, and he will come back into the team. And yes, all these players need to work on their fitness, and they have to stay fit, and that's the way to go about things. And also, the management needs to discuss a lot of things and rectify the issues. First, teach them the basics. Basics matter. Then take it from that point.
No, I agreed on that. Do you think that we lack, some of these dynamic type of players? Because as you're talking about developing for the T20
Mm.
World Cup, I feel that the team lacks the dynamic players, of the caliber of Surya Kumar Yadav for India, or Heinrich Klaasen for South Africa, David Miller with his sweeps, Glenn Maxwell. These are dynamic players. The impact someone like Jason Roy had on England's last World Cup. I mean, who do we have in that way? You look at a lot of the players we have, your Pathum Nisankas, your Kusal Mendis, your Sadira Samarakrama. In their own right, as individuals, fantastic players, but they're not dynamic. They don't contribute in different ways to the team. I think that's one of the issues.
Exactly. See, I feel Kusal Pereira would have been one of our dynamic players, but unfortunately, he's not performing. He's also back from injury, so I feel that he would have been
Everyone
a
is back
dynamic
from
player.
injury,
But
no?
exactly. So the Sri Lankan cricket team looks like an hospital ward, right? Players getting injured, players coming into the team, going back to an hospital ward, just like that. Yeah. So
Yes. But yeah, I think they'll need to look at some strategy. And I think, I don't know, a wacky idea I just thought of is, how there's been a lot of talk on England firing their coach and, appointing Owen Morgan as the new coach. What if Sri Lanka decide to appoint Owen Morgan? Give him the job as maybe not head coach. Maybe you give him the job as the head of the SSC or something, where you bring him in and say fix the entire Sri Lankan cricket, not just fix the cricket team, the A team, the women's team, the club system. Very unlikely to happen because there are problems rooting beyond anyone's control in the SLC, but it's just a crazy thought. We can dream.
mhm. Well, that's very unlikely to happen. But if it happens, it would be really great for Sri Lanka cricket. And see, Ian Morgan is a guy who can do wonders. And if it happens, it would be a big plus point for Sri Lanka cricket. See, to build a team, it takes time. It takes about 2 to 3 years building up a
Hmm.
team. But you know, it could it could pay off end of the day, but unlikely, I would say.
So what's the next step? Like, what kind of team do they need to build on now? Where do you go from here? This was a terrible World Cup, but what do you do to build that next team? Because I don't see Sadira Samaravikrama playing a T20 World Cup. I don't see Kusal
Uh,
Mendis.
Samir, Samir, I lost you there. Could you repeat that question again? I'm sorry, I lost you there.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is like, where do they go from here? This is a write-off World Cup, but you're talking about the T20 World Cup upcoming now. if they are planning to go in with the same team, we're making a mistake because I don't see Sadira Samaravikrama. I don't necessarily see Kusal Mendis, your Angelo Matthews playing that next T20 World Cup. Like, we need someone more dynamic. Are there any players you could possibly bring in? Look at doing something different.
Well, at this moment, bringing someone dynamic is absolutely not there, I feel. Sri Lankan cricket team have to continue with players like Mendes, because Kusal Mendes is a key player, and Kusal Mendes, I feel, needs to be there, right? We need youngsters as well, and also experience. And I feel it was a big letdown to leave out Angelo Matthews from the World Cup, the initial World Cup start. Uh, we need youngsters and experience. Yeah. Let me tell you this. In 2015, when Mahela and Sangha retired, I feel the team was not groomed enough. Well, Mahela and Sangha were great players, definitely. But after that 2015, I feel, we have been chopping and changing players time to time, changing captains. Um, there have been issues off the field and on the field. So many issues going on. So the problem which we need to look at now is to see the right caliber of players. Okay, who can win you a game, and also who is willing to perform, and we need to see uh, the right players who can, really put their hand up and, give an extraordinary performance.
Who are the match winners we have? I mean, you look at Kusal Pereira. He's a match winner in his own style. I'd say Kusal Mendis on his day. Dasun Shanaka has proven in the past he's an amazing match winner.
Mhm.
But then you've got your bowlers. You've got Vanidhu Hasaranga, Mahesh
Yeah.
Theekshana. But I think we need a team of 11 match winners. Something Darren Sammy put very well at the 2016 World Cup when the West Indies won the T20 World Cup. Because
Yeah,
we have 11 match winners.
exactly.
We don't have 11 match winners right now in this team. I think that's the problem.
Definitely. We don't have 11 match winners. So we got to look into 11 match winners. We got to see who are those players. We got to do the right selection. So that is up to the selection committee and see what uh, they can do. So it's up with the selection committee, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you talk about selection. I think we all know where the selection is done here. It's not done on the cricket field for sure, but I think let's not go into
Exactly.
those level of details, but we all know where the selections are done here. But so,
Yes, agree
looking
on
at
that
the
point.
World Cup as a whole, like the one interesting stat I think one of the commentators mentioned today was that out of the 32 matches played, the captain who's won the toss has won 9. 9 out of 32.
Well, that's an interesting stat, by the way. Winning the toss and only 9 matches have been won. Uh,
That's
well,
ridiculous. Like,
seems
what are
very,
they doing
yeah,
wrong?
seems very interesting. Well, see, it's about, I would say it's not the toss. Okay. See, if you lose the toss or win the toss, you have to go in that intent to win. Okay. And fight needs to be shown. You got to fight. Okay, if you're even losing, show some fight and lose. You know, if you're losing, so you got to like show some fight. But today the game was like absolutely out of sorts. Sri Lanka were like thinking, okay, should I go after the bowling or should I like give my wickets? But let me put this to you. It was amazing bowling. We couldn't just handle that bowling by Bumrah, Shami, Siraj. They were absolutely amazing the way they bowled,
I
and
also
we
feel
just
that
couldn't
sorry to
handle.
interrupt you there, Prashant, but I also feel that the Asia Cup final really weighed down on us. Like you could see some of the players, they were tentative, putting their bat out for a defensive shot. They didn't know whether to defend, drive, whether to look to be aggressive. They were just confused. And to say you've got out to the same team for 50 and 55 in two consecutive matches, it's in the mind, isn't it? They came into this game
Exactly.
with a bad mindset. I think that's one of the problems that need to be fixed with this young team.
Yes. Uh, yeah, they haven't learned from their mistakes. You got to learn quickly. See, we all go through mistakes and everything, and we try to learn, but they haven't learned. It was the mindset was like thinking, should I play this ball or not? Should I drive or not? So they were
Mm.
in two minds, actually, two minds.
So, Mohammad Siraj has 19 wickets in 6 games against Sri Lanka. 19 wickets.
Well,
Of those, 16 have come in the first 5 overs of the match.
mm, well, he seems like he's on a fearless run against Sri Lanka.
I
It
mean,
seems like he likes Sri Lanka. Yeah.
a lot of the Indian players do. If you think about, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma's numbers are a lot better than their career averages when you take them against Sri Lanka. But, there is the
Yeah,
old
I
saying,
mean,
right, that Sri Lanka is known to bring players into form. It looks like that's happening. Shreyas Iyer was having a terrible World Cup. Today he has come into form
mm,
by playing
form.
against the Sri Lankan
Definitely.
team. Mohammad
And
Siraj.
I remember, yeah, sorry to interrupt, uh,
Yeah,
Samir.
go ahead.
So let me tell you this. Just when you said when Iyer has come back to form. Okay. Even in the last year World Cup, Aaron Finch was having a horrible World Cup.
Terrible.
Okay, he was absolutely. Suddenly, Aaron Finch started to play against Sri Lanka, and this game against Sri Lanka, and he scored a 50. I think he scored a 50. He
He
got back
got,
into form.
I think
Yeah.
he, no, he got more than 50. I think he got a 150 or something. He got a massive score against Sri Lanka in the last World Cup out of nowhere. It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, Sri Lanka has that thing of bringing players back into form, and so that is one thing we have to work on, and we got to analyze the issues right now, and we got to now look on to the next game and see what our combinations are, and we have to see that what's going to happen next.
I think we spoke a lot about Sri Lanka, but what about India? I mean,
Yeah.
they are doing a tremendous job. They are on an absolute roll, aren't they?
Yes, definitely. They have been fantastic in this World Cup in all three departments: batting, fielding, bowling. They have been superb. Uh, the game against Australia, yeah, they were some 3 wickets down for 4 runs, as I remember. But then again, that partnership between Kohli and KL Rahul was amazing, and they got over the line. Again, when they played against England, they scored only 230 runs, and they found their way back to win the game. And it was again over there. It was super bowling from the Indians, and Indians have got everything right. So now they have qualified to the semi-final, and hopefully thinking that they may make it to the final. But the brand of cricket they're playing, it is definitely uh, that they should keep continuing. They should keep continuing to play this cricket.
And everyone stepped up for them. I don't think there's been any one player who hasn't stepped up. Like India is a example of a team, in my opinion. They've come to the World Cup with a clear plan. They've executed their plans properly, and they've got the right players to do that.
Yeah, they have ticked all the boxes there. Yep. So they are just playing the brand of cricket which they have uh, thought of playing, and that's coming out well for them. And they're performing absolutely very well, and I'm very playing the brand of cricket that all want to see, all the Indian fans, and I feel most of the Indian fans want this type of cricket from their big players and all. See, there is always someone to put their hand up for the Indian team.
Of course,
Yeah.
absolutely. Do you think
If
they've got it in them to go all the way?
Well, that's a tough one, but since they have home advantage and they're playing with positive intent, I feel they might. But cricket is a funny game. Anything could happen on the given day. Just one bad day could put you back on the back foot.
India have had a few of those, haven't they? I mean, you look at the last two World Cups, they've made it to the semis, they've lost both. They've had a couple of those iffy moments in the playoff matches, the knockout. So, how do they go about
Exactly.
changing that pattern? I think that's the pattern India need to change, coming to the knockouts and losing. How do they go about changing that?
They got to be positive. They shouldn't be very overconfident about it. Just go play the cricket which you have been playing in this entire tournament. The last 7 games, okay, we have been playing good cricket. We just got to take it game by game. Okay, this is a knockout game. We just got to play with no pressure. In the last 2 World Cups, they have been under pressure. It's a bit like South Africa. Whenever they come to a knockout game, they choke. So India have been choking in these knockout stages of the World Cup. But I hope so that they would overcome this matter soon.
Well, like you said, I mean, they are one of the favorites, absolutely. If they back themselves, play the brand of cricket that they have been playing right now, they have every chance to go all the way. And I think that's something England did in the last World Cup. They lost a couple of matches. I think it was to Australia and Sri Lanka they lost, but they came back. They played that same brand of cricket and they got through. And even on the final day, you lost 2, 3 early wickets. You still had Butler, Stokes playing the natural brand of cricket. That's what took them over the line. And I think India need to back their strategy. They are slightly slow starters. Your Shubman Gills, your Rohit Sharmas, your Kohlis, they take their time, but they're dangerous players once they set up. Once they're set up, so I think India need to back their strength.
Exactly. Definitely, Samir. They have been super players, and definitely on their given day they will put their hands up and perform and keep going. So if the opponent team wants to win against India, these 3 wickets are very important. So if you get these 3 early wickets, and the opponent team has a chance. If not, the team, Iyer, Kohli, Rohit, these guys would take India to the next level.
Prashant, that sort of brings us to the end of our first episode. I think that was a very one-sided game, to be honest, but there's some amazing games coming up on the weekend. So let's hope we get some better contests. And to our viewers, hope to see you guys back for our next video. Prashant, thank you very much.
Yes, yes, Samir, my pleasure. Absolutely, one. It was India all over Sri Lanka, and definitely looking forward for the next few games which is coming up, and hope to connect with you again in the next segment.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you around.
No worries.